13 people are facing federal charges following Wednesday's riot at the U.S. Capitol. More than 90 have been arrested since a mob, part of a huge crowd that attended a Trump rally, had attended that rally. They stormed the Capitol, overwhelming police and getting inside the building. One of those now facing federal charges is the founder of the Proud Boys Hawaii chapter. Gina Mangieri has details.
The FBI arrested Nick Ochs at the Honolulu airport Thursday evening when he got back from Washington, D.C.
Among the throngs of people who flooded the Capitol Wednesday was Proud Boys Hawaii founder Nick Ochs, according to his own Twitter photo, where he posted, "Hello from the Capitol, LOL." In a criminal complaint and warrant for Ochs' arrest, a federal agent cited the Twitter post. Other images of Ochs seen on national television, and Ochs' own interview with CNN talking about being in the Capitol. Ochs founded the Hawaii chapter of Proud Boys, which the FBI says has been, quote, calling for action over false claims that President Trump lost the election due to widespread voter fraud.
They clearly need to go after the high-profile cases. So the people that got their faces all over the internet, they're the first ones to go down. Who would ever guess that Hawaii would be involved in the coverage of a far-right insurrection?
The federal agent wrote in his affidavit that he positively identified Ochs by matching social media images to Ochs' 2020 Republican Party candidate photo from when Ochs ran for Hawaii State House District 22. Ochs lost that election.
I think the Hawaii Republican Party, like many state Republican parties, are going to have to make a decision relatively soon whether or not they are still Trumplicans, whether or not they are still Donald Trump's Republican Party, as his son refers to it.
The Hawaii Republican Party did not yet respond to questions about Ochs' arrest and GOP affiliation, but the party chair told KHON2 this the day of the riot.
There's more that unites us than divides us. We ask for everyone to be safe and to remember that, that we're all Americans first, and to make sure that they treat each other with respect even while we can maintain our differences.
We have not received responses to phone and email messages requesting comment from Ochs or an attorney on his behalf. The affidavit in the criminal complaint quotes Ochs as telling CNN, "We didn't have to break in. I just walked in and filmed," and that he was, quote, working as a professional journalist. Ochs' alleged offense on the criminal complaint is unlawful entry into restricted buildings or grounds. Punishment can result in a year in prison, but rises to a maximum of 10 years if injuries or weapons are involved. Ochs' first court hearing is set for Monday in Honolulu, and a federal filing asks for Ochs to be ordered to make an initial appearance in Washington, D.C.'s federal district court in 2 to 3 weeks. The motion says the government does not intend to ask for defendant Ochs to be detained. Gina Mangieri, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.